Good morning, brothers and sisters. Like promised, this is day 2 of me tagging some folks that I think could help me with this project, or tagging organizations that I think could help me with this project. But this is day 2 of me explaining why my life, up until this point, could be turned into one hell of an interesting movie. Brothers and sisters, I have been through a lot. My childhood was not easy. I had a schizophrenic mother. I had an alcoholic, abusive father. And when they both passed away, I went into foster care. I was adopted by a nice family, a nice couple, when I was about 10 and a half, 11 years old. My teenage years were difficult because I really didn't understand what was happening per se. That my parents died, they passed away, and this new couple were trying to be my new parents. And so as a teenager, I was kind of trapped because I was like, if I think of you guys as my new parents, what happens to my old parents, my biological parents? And so I was caught between moving on and holding on to the past. Eventually, when I was about 17, 18 years old, is when my schizophrenia, for me, started to show itself. That I started hearing voices, I started seeing things, I started really having disorganized thinking, some confusion, and I was in and out of the hospital several times. And that's also a time where I started drinking, smoking, getting high. My drug use was pretty severe. And so I would go to college, and the next, I would say 7-8 years is a blur for me, because when I was in college for my bachelor's and my graduate degree, I was drinking a lot, I was smoking, I was getting high, I was using needles, I was trying to just run away from my problems. I was trying to escape the pain that I felt. And I was trying to escape my illness of schizophrenia, that I was like, this is too much, I can't handle this. And so I turned to alcohol and drugs. And what's amazing is my life turned into a movie. What would be awesome to show is that even though I was drinking, even though I was getting high, even though I had schizophrenia, I still was able to get a bachelor's. I was able to teach in Indonesia, in Thailand. I was able to go to Singapore. I was able to go to Yemen. I was able to go to South Africa. Even though I was going through all of those problems, I still was able to get a master's degree. And I was able to move to Alaska and do some therapy work for 2.5 years. And so even though I had all of these problems, I was able to travel the world. I was able to see the most beautiful places, temples, mountains. I was able to meet the nicest, most loving people. Man. So this is I guess not invitation or plea, but this is my attempt at trying to reach people who could help me make or turn my life into a movie that people would watch. Another part of that story is that even though I have schizophrenia, even though I'm an alcoholic, even though I'm an addict, even though I struggled during college and in my 30s, I found God. And I think of myself now as a born-again Christian, and that would be interesting story to tell of me going into my college years, of not really believing in anything, of sleeping around with people, men, women, non-binary, trans. Like, I was just sleeping with anyone. And I became Muslim for 3-4 years, and then I left Islam, and then I became Christian, and I was born again. And so that would be an interesting story to tell as well. So this is just my my attempt to try to reach the right people who could make this dream come true, which is, you know, these stories that I have to tell, to put them on the big screen. So thank you guys for listening so much. God bless you, and have a wonderful afternoon. Peace.